Welcome everyone to the O Winners webinar. Glad to have everybody here tonight. We got a really good topic, and the topic is Mr. Ash Mufareh, the legend. And we have quite a lineup of leaders and speakers today. So we're ready to roll. And we're going to begin with Mr. Bob Takusi.
Hello, everyone. Greetings from Bel Air. This is your friend, Bob Takusi. I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much, Sylvie and Macien, for that wonderful introduction. Thank you, DJ Skipper, for keeping us energized before, the webinar. That's very kind of you, DJ Skipper. It was a pleasure seeing you in Washington, D.C. this weekend. You actually brought down the house. Thank you. Thank you to all our esteemed speakers who come up tonight following myself and Oliver. Brother Madi, you know how much you are close to our hearts. We thank you for always being here. Brother Chris Johnson. Thank you for coming. And my sister Julie, thank you for coming, and Dr. Bill, and of course, one of the dynamic trio, Mr. Dan Street of the ONPASSIVE Nation. Dan, it's good to see you. Like Lynn said, the topic for tonight is Ash Mufareh, the legend. Who is this man? This man who is about to shake up our world, to rock our worlds, all of us, each and every one of us, all the founders. Who is he? We are at the home stretch. Any moment from now, I believe anytime from now, Ash Mufareh can come out and say, hey guys, let's go. He has said that the world is going to know our name. Everybody's going to know us. So who is our founder? So we thought maybe we should start telling the world who our founder is even before we are known. That's why we chose this topic. And we decided to call these folks who are here, who are close to Mr. Ash, so that they can actually help us to enlighten the entire 1.4 million founders of ONPASSIVE. So I'm very pleased that they accepted. Some did not, but most of them did. So thank you, Brother Madi, Brother Chris, Sister Julie, Dr. Bill, Mr. Dan Street, and of course, my brother Oliver, for being always ready to contribute, to make a difference. Guys, listen to this. My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufareh. Upgrade your dreams. My name is Ash Mufareh. Reverse and upgrade your dreams, no matter how big they are. My name is Ash Mufareh. Get ready for the greatest shape of your life. The world is going to know your name. My name is Ash Mufareh. I was born to change your life. I hope one of us, is putting together those quotes of Ash Mufareh, because I guarantee you, you're going to be a millionaire. If any one courageous founder can put all of Ash Mufareh's quotes and sell it back to us, all 1.4 million founders of us, at $10, that's a business plan right there I just put out to you guys. They're an instant millionaire. But those are the words of someone who is a legend. Those are the words of, those are what I call the audacity of Ash Mufareh. Those are the words of someone who knows exactly where he is, who knows exactly what he's doing, who knows exactly the impact of what he's doing, who knows the peoples he wants to impact, who's got everything together, down packed. My name is Ash Mufareh. I'm your friend. He says that every time he comes to speak to us, that's the attraction he brings. Instantly, instant attraction. But when I joined ONPASSIVE on the 25th of April, 2020, a few weeks after that, we had not seen the founder. We knew of him, we had not seen him, maybe like a couple of weeks. There was a webinar within our community with Mr. Charles Osong and a few of other African, within our African community. Nobody had seen Mr. Ash yet. And there was a webinar where Cindy Hopkins was invited. She was the first corporate leader that I saw, and most of us at the time. Cindy Hopkins with her voice, peculiar voice. I call her Mama ONPASSIVE, actually. That's how I call her. She came and spoke to us and was just reassuring us because we didn't know Mr. Ash, and we had not, no clear understanding of the company, the structure, and everything. But as Miss Cindy Hopkins, and I remember this very vividly, as she spoke to us, she told us that our founder, Ash Mufareh, was born in Bethlehem. I was like, wow. But I think about a couple of weeks later, we had our first corporate webinar. Mr. Ash came. And he was talking to us, encouraging us, as he always does. If you realize, every time Mr. Ash Mufareh comes out, even before he says what the message he's got, he gives some words of inspiration, motivation. He talk to us about himself, why he did what he's doing, and his early beginnings and things like that. And he told us then that his father, and he was saying this in the context of how he's very peculiar, he's very organized, he likes things done orderly and stuff like that. He told us that his father was a carpenter, or was a carpenter. And I believe his name is Joseph. I might be confused, either Abraham or Joseph, but I think he said his father's name is Joseph. Now, I am a Christian. I'm a Catholic Christian. I don't want to expatiate on the biblical significance of that. Someone who is born in Bethlehem, whose biological father, whose name happens to be Joseph, and who was also a carpenter. I will leave it to each and every one of us to make our own assumptions. But that struck me well. I received that news very well personally, including my own personal spiritual connection with our founder, Mr. Ash. That was a good feeling for me, very soothing feeling to receive those messages. Our founder, Mr. Ash, is a very highly educated man. He has a master's in information technology from the Intercontinental University. He also has a diploma in internet marketing from Harvard. So he has what I call the requisite background requirement, and is the right man at the right place at the right time to embark on the journey he's about to. And this experience of Ash Mufareh, this educational background, this experience of both technology and marketing, that is what is going to propel him in his early stage to get him the financial freedom and relief that he has been seeking for. He joins a company called GDI, Global Domains International, with his background, knowledge that he's a master of what he does, and he becomes a master affiliate. And then he suddenly, the company allows him to become an associate, so he can also start up his own company. So he creates his company, GDI Fusion. And he does very well. Our founder is a wealthy man. He has done well. That is why he's able to take his time. Take his time to do this job right. There's no pressure as far as he's concerned. He says it's do it or die. That means it's going to be done the right way, and he's going to deliver it at the right time. Do it or die. He has enough. And he told us personally, Mr. Ash had told us, when he speaks, I listen to him very, very keenly. He told us one time that the reason he's been able to afford ONPASSIVE to bear the cost of all these operations is from his savings. His savings is heavily invested in crypto and his company. That's where the funding of this engagement is coming from. And he made a pact. There was an agreement in his household that he was never going to touch our $97, which is an insult for us to think that that's the value of what our founding position is. So he doesn't touch this money, that is founding position money that we pay every time that you become a founder. No, he has nothing to do with it. The intention is to use it to roll out ONPASSIVE when we start seeing the commercials and when we do our major global well rollout. That was his intention, and that's what he stuck to or by. But for me personally, when I think of Ash Mufareh, our founder, our dear founder, the legend, the man, I think of hope, I think of compassion, and I think of love. That is what Ash Mufareh means to me. Outside technology, outside marketing, outside everything, Ash Mufareh immediately, to me, epitomizes hope, compassion, and love. Hope is what binds each and every one of us here together. Hope. This ONPASSIVE, these are ONPASSIVE, it's not wishful thinking or blind optimism. It is hope. And that's what Ash Mufareh does to us every time he comes, before he speaks to us. He gives us that hope. He uplifts us. It motivates us. Hope. That thing inside each and every one of us, as our former president said, that thing inside you that insists, despite evidence of the contrary, something better awaits you if you are ready to work for it or to reach for it. Hope. Ash Mufareh gives each and every one of us that. It is that hope that has brought us to this point, where we now see the light at the end of the tunnel. We can feel the rumble. We can hear the rumble. That rumble that was at the distance is coming. It's close. It's right here. Oliver says it's right here. The rumble is because of that hope. Had that hope. And it takes a special legend like Ash Mufareh to keep us together. 4 years. Encourages us, motivates us, gives us the hope that something good awaits us if we are ready to work for it or to reach out for it or to wait for it. When I think of Ash Mufareh, I think of compassion. Compassion. Everything about this man is compassion. He's a compassionate man. That is why he develops a solution, a 21st century artificial intelligence driven smart business solution, cutting edge technology that most people, most of his peers, people of his ilk, CEOs, they are talking about this technology, but they are making projections for 5 years from now, 2025. But Ash Mufareh comes in and says, we are going to bring tomorrow's technology today. It's giving us, because of his compassion, he makes it available to each and every one of us, including the people from the remote villages in Cameroon, the undulating hills, the grass fields of Cameroon, or the remote areas of Papua New Guinea, where the layman can afford to be a founder. It is his compassion. It is the compassion. There's nothing other than compassion. Because when I listened to ONPASSIVE for the first time, I was thinking this man is going to ask me to pay at least $5,000. And I was thinking about how to get it, how to convince my wife that this is worth it. So dear founders, dear friends, never you think of this value of ONPASSIVE to $197. No, it is not. It is the compassion of Ash Mufareh that gives it for you for $97. When I think of Ash Mufareh, I think of love. Love. He loves everyone. My name is Ash Mufareh. I'm your friend. He says it to you straight into your eyes, and it comes from his heart. Ash Mufareh is love. And when I think of this love, as a Christian, it takes me back to the book of Corinthians, where love is defined. Love is kind. Love is not easily angered. It does not boast. He keeps no records of wrongs. That's Mr. Ash Mufareh. Love. He loves each and every one of us. I have been personally a benefactor of the benevolence and the love of Ash Mufareh. I had the privilege of meeting him last March with some of our fellow founders here. The man is all about love. He looks at each and every one as a brother or a sister. He does not care. Ash Mufareh held me up, hugged me as if I was a brother that grew up with him from childhood. He actually carried me up. It's love. So when you think of this legend, think of hope, think of compassion, think of love. And he actually exemplified his compassion with his signature product, our flagship product. It's Oh Bless. Oh Bless is a product that is going to propel ONPASSIVE to every household in this world. Because the benevolence, what Oh Bless, the ripple effect of Oh Bless is a secret of ONPASSIVE. What Oh Bless is going to deliver to the peoples of the world, they will want to know about ONPASSIVE. That's how smart Ash Mufareh is. Oh Bless. What does he expect of us, ladies and gentlemen? What is his expectation? Actually, nothing. But if you were to look at Ash Mufareh from what he says, just trust and loyalty, love. And then if you go deeper a little bit, replication. Replication. I was sitting with him across the table in Boston. Oliver was next to me. And here I was at the other end of the table, and he was talking directly. I was right on his eyesight. And he was talking about replication, that if you were to ask Ash Mufareh what he wants of us, each and every founder, because he knows we are fine, replicate yourself. Replication. We should go out to the world and do good. Replicate ourselves so that these people can also replicate themselves. Let me end by quoting my brother Oliver. Ash Mufareh is going to be a case study to all universities around the world. Ash Mufareh and ONPASSIVE is going to be a case study. And he will probably win the Nobel Peace Prize. But there's one thing that's going to happen too. Upon the launch of ONPASSIVE, once Mr. Mufareh turns on the switch, first of all, number one, our lives, each and every founder, each and every one of us, from founder number one, is it OP admin or Ken Russo, to the last founder who registered on June 22nd. The lady, her name is Bhatina Lakshmivedi of India. That was the last person who registered. Is in our dashboard. If you go to our splash page, you see that lady, Bhatina Lakshmivedi. All of us, each and every one of us, were instantly famous. But there's something else, and Ash Mufareh becomes the greatest man on earth that walked the planet Earth. But in the technology world, they are going to be writing about Ash Mufareh for decades to come. How did this man do this? How? The time that he took. As we sit here, we are inside the industry, and we have an idea of what Mr. Mufareh is doing. At minimum, it should take 5 to 8 years. But here we are, Mr. Mufareh is telling us in the next few weeks, things are going to be happening. Thank you, Mr. Ash. Back to you, Auntie Lynn.
Beautiful. And you covered quite a bit of ground as far as Mr. Mufareh goes. And what happened to your spot? Are you spotted? For some reason. Trying to sorry about that. I didn't want to keep you on camera Bob the whole time. Sorry about that. Okay. Thank you for your contribution. You know, love, compassion, and all of that is truly part of what Ash Mufareh epitomizes. And I'm so proud to be part of this company and to have a great CEO like him. Can't ask for more. Now we go to Oliver Fonte, and Oliver Fonte has quite a bit to say. I do know that. Come on down, Oliver.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Bob, for the wonderful intro. And brother, the person that brought me into ONPASSIVE, I want to say thank you for that. And thank you for me to know who Ash Mufareh is. I want to thank all our invitees here in the house, from Chris Johnson, Julie, Dan Street, Dr. B. Williams. I also want to thank Niria from Australia. I don't know what time is it there. She's here all the time with us. Bruce and the rest. I will not call all the names. Maddie, our big bro in the house. I want to say thank all of you for being here with us. And our topic of today, Ash Mufareh, the legend. I will borrow my junior sister's description of Ash Mufareh, Dr. Peckham, that he's the disruptor of the system. And talking about Ash Mufareh, I think I talked about it here the last time. I won't stop to say how, the why, and the when. He is the legend that he is going to transform the world, the digital world. He is going to transform the digital world. He is going to make all the companies and the 7 billion people all over the world to benefit from everything. People who thought they can't afford something in the digital world, they'll be able to lay their hands on it. Free companies will have them also for an affordable price. And he will make the world a better place. That is who the legend Mr. Ash Mufareh is. A man that looked into the world, looked into the digital world and saw all the gaps, the corruption, and the mafia that is going on. And he said he need to fix it. He need to fix it. And he did, after looking into all the gaps from the mailing, the computer systems, the softwares, and everything that you want to think about. He said he needs to fix it. One person, one. And a man that money doesn't mean anything to him. A man that has instilled the 1.4 million of us the love for humanity and will improve our lives. Who is that? The legend, Mr. Ash Mufareh. We can't state that we will not thank him. Our life, as my brother Bob said, will never be the same in few weeks to come. Because of Mr. Ash Mufareh, I would like to ask all of us that we should enjoy our last moment, because our life in a few weeks to come will never be the same. Enjoy every blessed moment of your life as from now, because it will never be the same again. Money will be history. You would not want to go to your mailbox. You panic because you go open your mailbox, you meet the bills. Now, Mr. Ash Mufareh will pay the bills without any problem. And when we talk about how did he started ONPASSIVE, how? Like I said, he looked into the world, saw the corruption. He saw the corruption. He saw the mafia that is going on. When I listened to him last Friday Night Live, with Chris Johnson, then Madi Degamo, they were talking, and he talked about O Connect and asked about the price. You saw how a CEO, a down-to-earth person, communicating with the founders, want to get their own idea. How do they feel? If this product, how much is it going to cost? And when our big brother Madi Degamo said 500 after all suggestions that came up, Madi Degamo said $500. He said Mr. Madi was a smart guy. Maybe that is the price for OConnect. Who knows? With all the disruptive futures that comes with OConnect, and for $500 a month with Zoom, and it's unlimited with Zoom, that we pay for 20,000, I think it's almost $8,000. Tell me how Mr. Ash Mufareh will not change the world with that. Tell me which company that the legend, Mr. Ash Mufareh, all the companies will not bow for him. The corruption that is in the market. Some CEOs get all this money, enjoy themselves, but Mr. Ash Mufareh said no. The love of humanity, that is the why. Why ONPASSIVE? Bob just talked about Oh Bless. Why ONPASSIVE? Oh Bless is the why. The love for humanity, that's the why. For me, that's the why. Because now, out of the 200 countries plus all over the world, with the 1.4 plus, or maybe we'll end up with 1.3 million, each and every one of us, he has instilled that love of humanity in us. We will impact somebody's life. We are going to impact somebody's life. That is the why Mr. Ash Mufareh created ONPASSIVE and put this structure that I don't know how he did it, what came into his mind, that he put this structure together. That is the why. That today he appointed Chris Johnson, the man who bless. And in Africa, we are also coming with MFA, Missionaries for Africa, that we are going to impact people's life in Africa and globally all over the world also. That is the why Mr. Ash Mufareh created ONPASSIVE. That why. That why. That is why today ONPASSIVE will shake the world. Not only in the digital world, but the love of humanity. I will not stop saying that. I will not stop saying that. In my village tomorrow, in a few months to come, they are going to have a good health center, clean water, electricity. Other parts, P&G, with Opal, they are going to have a good network, their cell phones. Name it. Name it. Name it. Mr. Ash Mufareh, the legend. And when, that's the last one. I've talked about how, I've talked about why, now the when. A man, a strategist, a man that has sense of humor also, a man with good timing, that God has put his hand on him. The good timing is the when. And the big thing, that timing, we talk about the World Cup. The World Cup. He has signed a contract, ONPASSIVE has signed a contract with the Beam Sports that we're going to have about 5 billion people to watch. That timing, that when, that timing also, that ONPASSIVE will showcase the above market value products to the world, and the world will vibrate. Unlimited, affordable price. Tell me who will not come? Because of one man, Mr. Ash Mufareh. Because of one man, the legend. A company that has not even gone to the market. Another company is asking ONPASSIVE to buy them. That legend, Mr. Mufareh, is the man. A man that got into Dubai. Not any company goes to Dubai easily. He went to Dubai, the tallest building on this planet Earth, bought 2 floors. Bought 2 floors. On the 30th of March, ONPASSIVE was all over Dubai, from the mall to movie theater, billboards along the street, everywhere. And he said something bigger is coming by the end of this month. Who knows? We don't know. That is a strategist. That is a man that has looked at all of us. And he said, we should think big and dream big, think positive. He has been asking us, or he has been telling us to upgrade our dreams. I think 3 or 4 weeks back, he said I've asked you guys to upgrade your dreams. And he was pissed off because it looks like nobody wants to. But that is the legend talking, because he knows what is coming. The tsunami is coming. The legend, Mr. Mufareh, doesn't talk about money. He talks about value. He talks about our products and our value. The value that ONPASSIVE is going to bring into the market. And he said, value is the magnet for wealth. Value is the magnet of wealth. Those are Mr. Mufareh's words. And he makes us to understand that ONPASSIVE is going to touch every cornerstone of this planet with our products. Now the world is in recession. The world is in recession, we like it or not. Gas prices gone up, gallon of milk up, everything has gone up. But guess what? Our legend, Mr. Mufareh, with our ecosystem, our virtual mall CEO, they'll come there, they'll buy our products, affordable price, unlimited, and they'll be able to have, CEOs are going to have excess money to give raise 1%, 2%, 3% to their employees, and big bonus to their employees. And money will circulate back into the economy. That is who Mr. Mufareh is, the legend. That is who he is. He will not only touch the world with the love of humanity, but he's also going to impact the economy of the world. The world economy, ONPASSIVE is going to impact the world economy. Just CEOs buying our products for affordable price, unlimited, he's going to infuse more money into the economy. I will say that authoritatively. Knowing what is in the market, being in the field, knowing what these other software companies that are taken out of us is going to happen. Come again, Mr. Mufareh, the legend. He looks into all of us, our eyes, and he tells us that he's going to change our lives. Let me talk to my brother Bob Takosi. What audacity. If you don't know what is coming, he knows what is coming. That is why he makes those powerful statements. And we are all fine. And we are going to be fine. When I look at Mr. Mufareh, it's like Noah in the Bible, that when God told him to build the ark, that's the ship, the boat, the big boat, the ark. It took him 100 and something years. People were laughing at him, insulting Noah. But when the storm, the rain that came, the storm, he shut the door. Noah shut the door of that ark, that boat. Those who were laughing at him, there was no way for them to get into that boat. Those who were inside that boat, the 1.4 million ONPASSIVE AI ONPASSIVIANS, because of our loyalty. Bob talked about hope. Because of that hope, that loyalty, that faith, trust. We trusted him, Mr. Ash Mufareh, our legend, the 1 million plus of us. And today, we are going to be like the disciple. I don't want to use that. It's a very powerful word. I'm a Christian. I don't want to go there. Because of the legend, we are going to also replicate, like my brother Bob said. We are going to replicate, and we owe Mr. Ash Mufareh one thing: to replicate ourselves. We owe him that. We owe him that. If the apples start coming, please fill your tank, like he said, that we should fill our tank. When he said we should fill our tank, he means that get the house that you want, get the car that you want, make yourself comfortable. The excess money, replicate yourself. We should replicate ourselves. I think we have the power in the months to come or years to come to impact at least 5 people's life all over the world. If we can do that, the world will be a better place. Thank you, everybody, and God bless all of us. Bye.
Thank you, Oliver. And yes, you know, he has said to dream big and dream bigger, and I hope we are. And I don't think any of us can really envision what's going to come in the future, because it's going to be way bigger than we think. That's my opinion. All right, next we go on to Dan Street. We'd love to hear from you, Dan Street.
Well, hi, everybody. Great job, Bob and Oliver. Wow, you've pretty much said it all with a lot of passion, and really appreciate it. And I'd like to thank Sylvie and, of course, you, Lynn, and this whole group for having me here tonight. I've been kind of out of the loop for a little while with a little knee surgery, but I'm back, feeling better, and looking forward to getting back into it. So, you know, what I have to add is pretty short and sweet, I hope, but it's, you know, we all have our personal experiences and opinions on the influence that Mr. Mufareh has had, not only on our journey with ONPASSIVE, but how he has changed the way we think. And he has changed the way I think. Now, most of you know the details of the path that Marty and Mike and I have taken and with ONPASSIVE and how we met Ash. And so I'm not going to relive that whole story, but we did that through hard work and believing in this company and knowing that what we had in front of us was something that was very, very special. And when I say he's helped me change the way I think, he's helped me, his example has been the way I think about hard work and discipline and never giving up. I mean, if you look at this guy and what he's been going through for us, he never gives up, and he's got more discipline than all of us put together. Now, if you have engaged in this business at all, you've developed a belief, and nothing can stop you from achieving your goals. You've developed a belief in the vision of Ash Mufareh. And not just that it's going to change your finances and give you time freedom, but how you can bless others. Ash emphasizes that all the time. How you can bless the less fortunate. How you can, sure, you can take care of yourself and you can take care of your family, but his emphasis on helping other people is second to none. Now, when I reflect on what has made ONPASSIVE an unbelievable success, there's only one answer to that, and we all know it, and that's Mr. Ash Mufareh. What is it about Ash that has made this company what it is today? Well, the answer is his belief in what he had, his dream, his vision, his belief, his hard work, his perseverance, his discipline, and his strong belief never to give up. He's the most incredible troubleshooter we've ever seen in our lives. I mean, we don't even know half of what goes on behind the scenes. And he's just never given up because he has such an incredible belief in the potential of this company. And to realize that vision and knowing that he could take it to the next level has never been seen in any other business that has ever existed, in my opinion. But I'd like to just comment on what has impressed me most about Ash Mufareh is not only his drive and belief and his excitement in ONPASSIVE and bringing this company to the world, but also his incredible ability to humble himself and put together a team of people and delegate to those people who he trusts. And how do you trust people in ONPASSIVE? How do you trust the people to help you make this company a success? Well, you develop an incredible trust. You don't do it without listening to every idea and perfecting a plan. And I think Ash doesn't talk enough about his amazing ability to listen to people, his amazing ability to listen to all of the ideas of all of these amazing people that he has brought into this company. It has even amazed him, the quality of the people that he's brought in from all over the world, the best of the best. And he has humbled himself and he's learned from these people. I mean, he's got the best legal team, engineers, mathematicians, and staff, all for us and for him, and to make this company what it is, what it's going to be, and what it's going to be for the long term. Now, you know, many of these people, as I said, have amazed Ash. He has humbled himself and he's learned from these people. But to be able to get all these incredible people together is one thing. But then to gather them together and implement a strategy for long-term success and be able to just take these people and look and understand what their strengths and weaknesses are, and be able to put that together in a big plan in over 200 countries. And I can't imagine it. So his desire and his motivation to make ONPASSIVE a success is second to none. You can't give him enough credit. And again, it benefits all of us. And on top of that, I think his imagination to continue to invent and to dream is second to none as well. There's a quote from Jim Rohn that I like. I love Jim Rohn, so I got a quote for him. The great gift of human imagination is that it has no limits or ending. And that, my friends, is Mr. Ash Mufareh. He's inventing all the time. He's got an amazing imagination, but he has the ability to take that imagination and make it a reality. So we're in a good place, and gosh, what a guy. And we look forward to the next step. That's all I got, Lynn.
Thanks, Dan. I think of Mr. Mufareh as being a sort of an inventor. You know, he creates products and services that when he sees there's something in the market that's not being provided, he just builds it. So I'm excited about what's coming in the future because he's such a creative man and he sees what the world needs and he makes them happen. So, wow, fabulous. All right, now we have Mr. Chris Johnson. Come on down, Chris.
Wow. Thank you, Lynn. First of all, let me thank Marcianne, Sylvie, Miss Lynn, Bob, Oliver, Dan, and that guy who sings, we call Skeeper. He had my booty moving like this. Let's put it that way. Got to keep you guys laughing. Listen, number one, I said this a long time ago. Who the heck is this Ash Mufareh guy you're talking about? Someone tell me who he is. And it sounds like we have a lot of people that are telling us who he is. But you know what? You're all wrong. I'm here. The chubby guy is here to tell you that you're all wrong.
Sorry, somebody hit the unmute everybody. So that's why there's sound. So I muted everyone again, but go ahead and unmute yourself, Chris, and continue.
Oh, must be the skinny guy making fun of me, trying to mute me. So I'm going to say it again. You're all wrong. Ash Mufareh is not a legend. Let me repeat this. Ash Mufareh is not a legend. All right. What he is, Ash Mufareh is a living legend. Someday, Ash Mufareh will be a legend when he goes home. But right now, I want to celebrate our living legend. And what does it say? I looked up a few definitions for legend because I'm not going to lie. This was hard to come on Bob and Oliver said so much at every point, and then it's hard to follow that. It's really hard to follow. See, Dan's the smart one. He comes on, he hits it, he gets it, he gets out of there. Me, I'm rumbling and I'm stumbling. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how do I explain this guy? He's a living legend. Let me give you that. In the Webster Dictionary, a person who was famous while still living for doing something extremely well. We all know that's Ash Mufareh. All right. It also says, what does it take to be a legend? All right. A legend is someone who leaves behind an unforgettable impression on others. I think Ash Mufareh has done that so far, but he's still living, right? He's made an impression on every one of us. And it's not one of those bad impressions. It ain't stick my face in the cookie dough, Marty, and make gorilla cookies. That's not the impression we're talking about. We're talking about a guy, a special guy, who he always says, like Bob says, you're my friend. He's not my friend. He is my brother. He is a mentor of mine. He's a man that I could follow anywhere, not because I'm crazy. It's because I believe in what he says. And what he says always is always something good. He's constantly fighting battles that he doesn't let us know about. We know the battles that we fight about amongst each other, which is really silly. And does he acknowledge it? No. He keeps going forward. All right. I don't really think he's got any, I'm not going to say the word hate, but he's got none of that in his heart. He's got a clean soul, we should say. All right. He looks at the people that are negative and proves them wrong. How does he do that? By doing what he's done here with ONPASSIVE. Ash Mufareh is a living legend. Ash Mufareh reached out to anyone that wanted it through us, word of mouth, and look what he did. 1,400,000 people who are all have a different mindset now. Don't tell me you don't, because you do. You also know what's coming your way. That's absolutely wonderful for all of us. I love it. Bob was touching on, I love the fact that someday all of us, whether we're sleeping, eating, fishing, maybe some of you still want to work, knowing that money is going to be flowing in, and I'm saying it. Go ahead, you can fire me now. Money is going to be flowing in around the clock, guys. Now, the first day when we launch, I can't wait to actually look Ash Mufareh in the eye and say, you did it, man. You never gave up. You were cut, you put a Band-Aid on. They broke both of your hips and you kept walking. They tried to crush your demeanor, your faith, and you still kept going. Not for Ash Mufareh, but for every one of us. And we're a small part of every one of us, because as we say, we know what's coming. Imagine the millions and millions of people that are going to want to be part of this, to see a business that's completely rainbow colored, mixed ice cream, every flavor, working together. When Ash Mufareh talks about, and he gets made fun of this by other idiots, sorry to say that. When you got a guy or a lady that comes out and says, yeah, I want to stop wars. I want to make sure the world is green and healthy. I want to make sure people are healthy. He didn't just do this one way. He took every aspect of everything wrong and said, listen, I want to fix this. I think I can fix this. Not many people have said that. Maybe you had a guy said, yeah, I'm gonna fix this house up and I'm gonna resell it. You know what Ash Mufareh said? I'm not gonna resell anything. I'm gonna fix the world up, and I want people to enjoy their lives. That's what he's telling us. Every single day he comes on as smart as he is, and the Lord did not bless me with a big brain, I'll tell you that. But he did bless me with a big heart. But he also blessed me with eyes that are barely open, that can see people that want to help, not just take. Aren't you being tired of everyone just taking? He doesn't put himself on a pedestal. But yet every time he's with us, he brings us above him because he wants us to shine. He doesn't go on certain webinars because he wants other people to shine. That's all it's been about that I've seen. Oh yeah, Ash Mufareh, I know what's coming my way. And I'll be forever thankful. And then maybe I could become a legend, a living legend. And after I'm gone, a legend, because I kind of think we're all going to be those living legends through ONPASSIVE OBless. And when Ash said the face of OBless, biggest honor I've had in my entire life. But I'm looking at everyone who I want to share that honor with, because I know you are all faces of OBless. And that's the kind of guy Ash Mufareh is. You heard the person that said they'd give you their last dime, their last penny, they take the shirt off their back. There isn't a phrase that you can make good enough to explain how giving Ash Mufareh is. I'll think of one sooner or later, but it's going to take me a long time because there's no amount of words. And the stories that I know of that I have never shared with any of you, you'll know in the future. Do I want to tell them now? I do. But all I can say is this. Ash Mufareh is that guy. Say it to yourself. Ash Mufareh is that guy. He's the guy that when you were down, he picked you up. He was the guy when you needed a hug, he gave you a hug. He's that guy. So legend, living legend, Ash Mufareh will change so many lives. They're going to have to make a new name for legend just for him. I guarantee it. Lynn, that's all I got. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. That's very inspiring. Yeah, I think he's one of a kind. That's for sure, huh, Chris? One of a kind. All right, we are happy that Julie is here because she's next up to speak. Come on down, Julie.
Thank you so much, Lynn. And thank you so much, Winner, for picking me to talk about Ash Mufareh. Boy, there are so many things to talk about this man. But tonight, I choose to speak about something that's very near and dear to me. Because it is so near and dear and very important to Ash Mufareh as well. As you know, I am a mother and I cherish that role very much. Being the moms means the world to me. And I realize the importance of a mother's role. So tonight, I want to talk about the love and the connections of Ash Mufareh with his mom. And of course, with his wife and women around the world in general. I so will do my very best to articulate this point. It is undeniable that Ash Mufareh loves his mom, Mrs. I call her Hasiba. She is strong, beautiful, and most gentle and loving woman. One of the leaders here had shared it with me that when she visited Ash Mufareh's mom, when she hugged her, she felt like she's hugging her own mom. She's beautiful, she's strong, gentle. I don't think Ash Mufareh's mom could imagine the work that her boy Ashraf is doing today. I believe that her life experiences, her passion for humanity has ingrained in his heart at the very, very, very early time of his life. The unconditional love that he gives to the people around her, as Ash watching her as he growing up. It's not only the things that she does, that his mother does by example, but is how Ash feels when he watching his mom. I believe the love in Ash Mufareh's heart is cultivated from the moment he is in his mom's wounds, and the moment that he watches his mom and how much care and love that she has. His mom has made a significant impact in his life, which extended to today. And what he is doing today really attribute to the relationship that he has with his mother. Friends, we kind of watch a lot of the little conversation that he has with his wife. The way how he falls in love with Ash. It's how he watches Ash treating his mom, and seeing his relationship with his mom, his sisters, and how he treats women around his life. And this love will continue to carry on down to his children. So the way how I see Mr. Mufareh, he is the example of love. And everything that he touches comes from love. Based on all the products, everything that he's doing, the staff around him, the leaders around him, it's like his family. So today we gather here today to talk about Ash Mufareh, the legend. But to me, we're celebrating love. The love that begins years ago, and that the love that actually comes from his mom. So thank you, Mrs. Hasiba. Thank you, Ash Mufareh. Thank you, Asmahan. And thank you, the entire family that decided to do this for us. Being a mom, seeing that example throughout the years that I've been in ONPASSIVE truly taught me a lesson. Actually helped me in my role as a mother as well. I think it's just beautiful of what it is. Looking at Susie McCrae today, for example, it's through her dad, Joe McCrae, and through her mom. So whatever we are doing today, it's truly coming from how we are carrying ourselves, or how we feel what our parents doing for us. As a mom today with 2 daughters, I cannot wait to learn more and to see more so that I could bring that and actually ingrain that in my children's heart. Whether you believe ONPASSIVE or not, wherever you're looking at ONPASSIVE in anywhere, in any angle, if you were to look at the way how Ash Mufareh carried himself, speaking with the people around him, whether or not on screen, on webinar, or just meeting him in person, it's truly coming from the place of love. So we all have choices. We all have decisions to make every day. Do we want it to stay in the right path by sharing the love, or we choose not to? It's truly where I see Mr. Mufareh. So, friends, if you don't feel that love in your heart today, let's shed all the negativities of the past. Let's shed all of that, all that hatred away, and just focus on loving and sharing, and stay true to your heart. And I believe if we do that, there's love around the world, and especially the love coming from the parents. As parents, grandparents, or the love in the women without the S. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity just to speak a little bit about that core coming from Mr. Mufareh's mom. That's where it comes from, love. Thank you so much for giving me the chance to speak today.
That was quite beautiful, and it gives us a different perspective, and I think we gained a lot from that. So thank you for sharing. Now we go on to Dr. Bill Williams. Dr. Bill is in the house.
Thank you, Lynn. Wonderful to hear all the strong sentiments that are being raised, and they're all true. Every single thing I've heard, I agree with. Sitting across the table from Ash, you gather that in just being in his presence. And I wish every founder in the entire world could take that opportunity one day to sit across the table and just have a personal chat with him. Let's look at it from an angle that's the legend, how outsiders look. First, I want to talk about outside looking in. How do people look at Ash Mufareh? You could compare him to the industrialists from the 1850s to the 1920s. Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, Alexander Graham Bell, even John D. Rockefeller, Cornelius Vanderbilt. They built the nation. They built the infrastructure. They built the nation. They invented things. They became wealthy. They became humanitarians because of their wealth. Many of them became very benefactor oriented as they gained their wealth. Move into the latest version of the industrialists. It's the big tech gurus who we call the Steve Jobs, the Bill Gates, the Mark Zuckerbergs, the Elon Musk of the world. In that 100-year period, 75 perhaps to 2025, that's the era that they have been working in. And they are known. They are legends in their own time, just as the industrialists were legends in their own time. And we think about that looking out and going, well, we see the wealth first. We see the inventions that they came up with. They changed society. You know, each of these people added something to society that changed it and put it into a new paradigm. The light bulb, the telephone, the banking system, the automobile assembly line, everything that was done changed society. And so we look at the legends of the past and we go, well, what legends would operate in another sense? Those that are famous for maybe not doing things that change the world, but we wrapped our mind around them and we took joy from knowing that legend. People like Babe Ruth with baseball, people like Pele in football, what we call soccer in America. How about the singers of the world like Pavarotti, one of the greatest tenors that ever lived? Now, Picasso was an artist and he thought outside the box. He was not one who followed the rules, and he made up his own rules. And he therefore became as famous as anyone that ever painted because he thought outside the box. And that's the thing that made him a legend. And I think Ash thinks outside the box. I think that's one reason he's going to be a living legend. Ash is a big foodie, right? And so what do you think about when you think about a legend in the food industry? Wolfgang Puck comes to mind, a chef. Ash is the Wolfgang Puck of IT. He puts things together in a different way, a different flavor that people can sit and enjoy. And aren't they going to enjoy the ONPASSIVE ecosystem? It's going to be a magnificent buffet. But really, let's get down to brass tacks. And this is what everybody's been talking about, not all the important things that he's invented or supported to be invented. But what about the things that really will make him most famous? I think about the winners of the Nobel Peace Prize when I think of Ash, because going back in time, this Nobel Peace Prize was started in 1901, and there have been many winners, but they don't give one every year. Think about it. In 1993, Nelson Mandela from South Africa came to the front, ending apartheid with his partner, de Klerk, in South Africa. And he brought people together. And so he's most famous for his longevity, living through the prison term and coming through that, succeeding and bringing the people together. Think about Mikhail Gorbachev, who was the leader of the Soviet Union, who oversaw its dissolution. You know, he broke apart something that was not perfect. What about Mother Teresa? In 1979, she was given the Nobel Peace Prize for helping to put the spotlight on suffering humanity. And she's always known as the one who helps the underdog, the downtrodden, the poor. There have been many in the years past, Henry Kissinger, Martin Luther King, who were winners of the Nobel Peace Prize. But the one that stands out to me, and this is the one that I want to compare Ash Mufareh to, is Dr. Albert Schweitzer. You might not know of him. He won it in 1952 when most of you weren't born, but I was. I was 2 years old. I didn't know Albert myself, but the fact that he won the Nobel Peace Prize, I came to know about him. He was a physician, a medical missionary who had a hospital that he built in Africa. And so what he did was near and dear to my heart. He traveled all around Europe. At the time, he was what's called a polymath, a man of many talents, a man of many trainings. He was a theologian. He was an organist. He put on concerts all over Europe to support. He was supporting. My computer is trying to go out on me, so let me plug it in. Okay, thankfully I found the cord. So he was an organist, a philosopher, a writer, but mostly he was known as a medical missionary, and his altruism and reverence for life, his tireless humanitarian works led him to create a brotherhood among nations. Now, if you look at Ash and you look at all the things he's done, look at all the things he's credited with doing, the biggest thing he has in his quiver of arrows to make a difference could be Bliss. And it comes from the ability to support each of us to go out and do good works. He'll have the strength of 1 million hands and many more to come through the work of Bliss. And so I'm proud to say that the greatest legends of the world, those who made the most difference in the world, were those who made a difference in the unity of man, the humanity of man being shown through the Nobel Peace Prize evidence. And I hope that one day we'll be looking at the list of Nobel Peace winners. And I predicted this 3 years ago, when I first met Ash. I said, he'll probably win that prize if this thing comes to be as he painted the picture, because it's the picture of the perfect peace among the whole population of the world. Nothing could bring people together better than the harmony that comes from having enough to eat, enough to drink, fresh water, enough income not to have to strive, steal from your neighbor, overtake your neighbor in a war just to be taking their oil, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm proud to be on Passivarian. I'm proud to be a part of this team, and I'm proud of each of you for being part of the team and joining in. And thank you, Lynn, for inviting me for tonight's show.
Thank you, Dr. Bill. Great. And I agree with you. I think he's going to get that prize. Don't know when, but it's going to happen. Just to let you know, we have speakers lined up, and we will be having a special time for people to raise their hands and speak later. So we will definitely want to hear from Armin, but not at this time, okay? All right, so now we're going to go to Marty DeGarmo. We'd love to hear from you, Marty. Marty DeGarmo. So his camera's off. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Dr. Pekam Takusi. She is a pharmacist by profession and a certified life coach. She's a very inspiring woman, and we'll have her speak at this time. Come on down, Dr. Takusi.
Thank you, Angeline. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, all ONPASSIVians all around the globe. I may not be as privileged to have known Mr. Mufareh like all those who have spoken before me, but I think I'm privileged enough to be knowledgeable about the power which is found in the invisible realm and how everything already exists in the eternal now. So because of my knowledge of what I know and my strong spiritual backing, and knowing that we are all as humans, spiritual beings and having a human existence, I am totally sold to what Mr. Mufareh is doing. So what I just want to add to what everybody else has said is, as a woman in most cultures in the world, when they are pregnant and they're carrying a baby within them, most mothers talk to their children. Most mothers have a vision for this child they bear. And in most traditions of old, the child was usually named after something that was dear to the mother, or named based on where the child was born. And because we know today the power of a name and how names have frequencies and frequencies carry information, the name given to a child depicts the child's destiny. So mothers of old were very, very particular about the names they gave to their children. And I think Mr. Mufareh's mother was no different, especially having heard what my sister Julie has just said about the kind of mother Mr. Mufareh has. I'm sure on that blessed day, when she gave birth to this handsome baby boy in a city called Bethlehem, like I've just learned from my brother Bob this evening, Bethlehem. It's a Hebrew word, Bethlehem, and it means house of bread, house of bread. So for this mother to have her son born in a place called the house of bread, I think it was something very, very prophetic to this mother. So when she looked at this baby boy on her arms, she was so full of joy and she named him Ash. Look at the meaning of the name Ash. It's someone who is fortunate, someone who is very happy. That was the destiny Ash's mother spoke into his life the day he was born, and she named her son. He was destined to bring happiness to the world. He was destined to be so fortunate to be the vessel through which this great thing, which is about to happen in humanity, is going to come through. And permit me to use the scripture because I was raised as a Christian, but I'm going to say that I have transcended religion. I respect everybody on this platform, from studying the Quran and studying the Tao Te Ching and studying the Vedas. I truly, truly respect all the great people of all religions and their teachings. And when you tie them all together, they all speak the same thing, one message, and the message of love to humanity. But because I was raised as a Christian, the example I'm going to give is the example I know And I just want to look at Mr. Mufareh. I wish I could see him now. And if he's seeing me, Mr. Mufareh, this is what I'm telling you. I'm telling you the same way that the Lord spoke to the prophet Habakkuk and told him, the vision was given to you. Write it down, and at the appointed time, it will be revealed. It will not be late by a single minute. That vision, Mr. Ash, was given to you. I honor and I respect you the way you have stood by the vision. You have not looked to the left or to the right. You have been very, very focused on the vision that was given to you. And the same way that the Lord sent helpers to Moses to build the tabernacle, he sent Bezalel and Oliab, who were given the Spirit of God to build the tabernacle exactly how it was given. Mr. Ash, that is how God has anointed people your way that are going to bring forth this vision that was given to you to bring humanity to a new level, to uplift people, turn around the pyramid and make those who were at the bottom to be at the top. We are very, very fortunate. Those of us who are on this platform today, it is because we're able to connect with his vision. We're able to reason and deep down within each and every one of us, we have always seen the value which is in us as humans. We've always known that we were all destined for greatness, which is the reason why all those of us on this platform, not just on the All Winners platform this evening, but I'm talking to all the founders, the 1 million plus founders who were able to have been persistent and consistent and be still, despite all the naysayers most of us have around us, those who don't see the vision, but we have all chosen to remain steadfast and connect with the energy of our CEO. We know that we are all destined for greatness. And yes, Mr. Mufareh, the vision was given to you alone. We are all going to connect with you. We shall all be patient and at the right time, not one day early, not one day late, the vision shall be unveiled to the world. Thank you, Auntie Lynn, back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Kusi. Yes. And Ash has often said that he feels like he's led. There's a power greater than himself that is part of what's of him, part of the journey he's on. And I think that makes sense to me. Thank you. All right, now we go on to, let's see. Marty, if you're ready to come on down. If not, we'll have Abdullah Kia. Marty?
I'm as ready as I'm going to get.
All right.
The legend of Ash Mufareh. Well, I'll tell you what. I've met hundreds of people around the world. Definitely hundreds, if not thousands. With the company, I traveled and met a lot of people. I've never met anyone that comes close to Mr. Mufareh, especially with all his personality, his brains, definitely his heart. That's probably the biggest part of Ash, although he's got a pretty big brain. But usually, when you meet somebody that we consider successful, which is most people consider success money, and he didn't and hadn't. And because he educated himself on how to do the best at what he wanted to do, he would focus on it, and he did very well. Like Bob said, you know, he got a master's of information technology and e-commerce. I went to American Intercontinental University back in early 2000s. And when he was a recruiter or a affiliate, whatever you want to call it, in GDI, I know he had the world record of recruiting over 300 people in 7 days. I never had the opportunity to meet Ash all the stuff I did online, crisscrossing and all that. I wish I had met him 10 years ago, 12 years ago. But like everybody said, and I believe this with all my heart, now is the perfect time. Everything that's happening now is perfect time. I came in when I came in, they were where they were. The changeover from just a marketing platform to this behemoth that we see now, it all happened. And the beauty of it for myself and for Mike and for Dan was we were part of it. And like I've always said, we never were able to be in something long enough that it either folded or whatever. And with Ash, what people don't know, and I looked this up on my own, some of it. He would get into a company, let's say, and he would find out what is the pay plan, how does it work, and then he would go after that plan in the best way to reach its limit, and he would do it probably quicker than anybody that I've ever met. But on top of that, Ash would build little systems that he could, because he didn't like the idea he couldn't bring people with him. Even though he had the skills, leaving people behind from the very beginning didn't sit well with him. I didn't think about leaving people behind in the beginning because I was the guy that was behind. I didn't think about being left behind. I thought about struggling to get ahead. But I see it at a very small scale as time went on. So he would make a system that he would give to people. Now, the system he would make would cost thousands of dollars. He paid for it. He didn't charge anybody. He would here, Mary, John, Larry, try this system in whatever business they were in. It should help you get out of that 98 percentile, move up and get a chance to make money. And beautiful thing. But the same with him. Most of the companies he would join, as he mastered the pay plan or mastered how to work the system that they had, he'd always create his own system, but it would either fold, mostly fold, because they either did the math wrong, they couldn't handle the growth, they couldn't handle the fluctuation in the market of people coming in, going out. That's why now when you see Ash building this business, he took all of those nasty things and wiped them out. You're not going to see that with ONPASSIVE. So thank God, to me, he didn't launch 2 years ago. He didn't launch a year ago. He didn't launch a week ago. He's going to launch when it's ready. And all of us, even the ones that won't admit it, when he does it, it's right. They're going to say, "I knew it." And most people will think they will admit they didn't say that, but that's what he's doing. That's why it is the way it is. But even when he would make the systems for people, the company would fold. Ash would go look for another one and try to eliminate in his mind, well, I don't want to join a company actually exactly like that because it'll happen again. So he'd go look, he'd find the best he thought would be the best. And he said, you know what I'll do? I'll put my system in there and help others. The problem was his old system was branded to the company that folded or left. So here he is again. So he'd get in, he'd max out, he maxed out the pay plan. Because of his intelligence, he knew how to do it mathematically, the quickest way to do it, how to bring people in, what level, what rate, what down, across, whatever it took. They'd say, I'll give him the system. System wouldn't work. So he'd build a new one, give it to the people to help them move on. What people don't know is in all those companies that Ash was in, same for me, by the way, much smaller scale, but same answer. When they folded and died and disappeared, thousands of people were upset. But the only face they saw of that business was the number one marketer, which was Mufareh. So people automatically, you're the one I see, it must be your fault. When in reality, Ash was a victim, just like everyone else, at a higher scale. And the difference is he paid to build systems to help other people when the company actually beat him and beat everybody down. But through ignorance of people, they look and say, oh, well, I never saw the CEO, on purpose, by the way. The CEO of that company don't want you to see him. And then when it dies, who do they see? They see the number one marketer. And that happened to Ash 2 or 3 times. I don't know exactly, but enough times where it got old pretty quick. So when you hear about somebody, that's why I never go online, Google somebody's name and take that as a religion. Oh, that must be right. Remember, Google doesn't have to be the truth. Google gives information. It doesn't have to be true information. It just has to be information. They're not judging true or not true. And I found that because I was in this business, I know how it works. And after I found out how it really went with Ash, I said, well, what a class act. That made me build a closer and closer relationship, because then I do meet him. I do come to ONPASSIVE. I listen to what he's saying. And in my mind, a normal business would have brought in minimum amount of founders, probably relatives, built this massive business and kept all the money in the family. And thank God above he didn't do that. That makes him who he is. Because all the dirty work, all the money, all the sitting at a table and having people across from you telling you can't, that's impossible, what are you thinking, boom, boom, boom. And while that's happening, outside the office, founders are stabbing each other, saying things that aren't true, throwing posters up that aren't correct. And now he's got it, when he leaves there, he's got to go put out that fire. Nobody normal would do that. And then spend millions of dollars on top of that. But you know, the beauty of it is Ash looks at it like 5 diamonds in the rough are worth it. You know what I mean? A few are worth it. But I think the beauty of ONPASSIVE, because it went over that hump, and the core of the apple of ONPASSIVE is getting bigger and stronger and tighter, we actually are starting to police ourselves. Like if somebody comes in and they want to do wrong or want to do harm, you don't really need to report it. Everybody in the Zoom is going after them like hawks. And they soon, give me my money back. Okay, here you go. They don't feel comfortable. That's okay. We don't need wolves in sheep's clothing. There's enough people out there like that. But I think he built something that even surprised him. But that's what happens when you follow your calling. A door would open. It was rough. He's walking on glass. It's windy. There's knives coming at him. He's dodging what he can. A couple of them hit him, but he keeps focusing on who? The few behind him that are taking this journey and the drive and the direction from above, I believe. So let me tell you what, it's more powerful, more profound than people think to say do or die. Do or die, you can't get out. I'm going to do the best I can. Do the best I can means, well, I did the best I can. It didn't work. He didn't say that. Do or die. I'm not going to do the best I can. I'm going to do it no matter what, is what he said. And all we need to do as a good founder is have faith and belief. And trust me, when you get the belief, the journey becomes so much more fun. I don't get up every morning and go, I wonder if they disappeared. I wonder if Ash took off. I wonder, never, ever, ever, ever does that come into my mind. And that's a peaceful thing. In fact, what comes into my mind is my life's about to change forever. And so is everybody I've met in ONPASSIVE. I've never had that 62 years I've been alive. So the man, the legend that's alive now, pretty soon the world's going to know who he is. And they're going to be able to see how lucky we really were to meet him when he first started this journey. But I feel fortunate more than anybody could imagine. I'm in it forever. The $97 was a joke the day I paid it. It's more of a joke now. I wouldn't take it back if he made me. I would rather burn it than take it back. Happy with where I am. Happy that I met all of you. Happy that a lot of you are starting to see that light getting brighter and brighter and what we really have. Listen, you only need to know 1%, obviously, because that's what has told me I know. And it blows me away every single day. And there's things about Ask Me Far that after it launches and we're way down the road, I'll tell you. And overwhelming for me. But anyway, we're with a man that gave everything he's got, still doing it, doesn't have to. The least we can do is stand tall, breathe in, and take the walk. That's all we got to do. We don't have to fight. We don't have to dodge. You see something wrong, you should approach the person being nice and say, look, that you shouldn't post that. You shouldn't say that. And guide them. Don't yell at them. Don't belittle anybody. Do as your leader, Mufareh, would do to you. He's kind. He thinks of everybody. I've never heard him scream and yell. And I'm sure there's days he probably would like to. So if we could just follow his pattern, we don't have to do any of the work. We haven't paid any more money. So let's do what we can to help this legend that I feel, and a brother to me and family, finish out this journey and share it with the world, because there's a lot of people that will come in as resellers that need their lives changed. They just didn't make this, the founders. It's not over. It's only just begun. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marty DeGarmo. All right, we are approaching, well, we're actually hit 2 hours. We're over 2 hours. So we're gonna start to wrap up, but what we're gonna do is hear from a couple of people in our group here tonight. And then what we're gonna do is allow, for the next time we meet, we're gonna have a session of talking about Ash Mufareh, where everybody, the participants, can raise their hand and share how they feel and what they think about Mr. Mufareh. Because I know that everybody's chomping at the bit to do it, but we already are over 2 hours. So what we're going to do is ask you to hold on to your feelings and thoughts and bring it to us next week, because we'll have a full 2 hours then, okay? I think that'll make everybody happy. Otherwise, we're going to tell you 30 seconds each tonight, and that's not very satisfying, right? All right, so thank you for your understanding. I'm going to call on Abdua first. Abdua Kia, he's an O winner. And we're going to stick to 2 minutes. Okay, everybody, 2 minutes, because we're going to wrap up. Can you talk in 2 minutes? I don't know, Abdullah, but you can try.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to everyone. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. I'm happy and I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak about a man that I love so much myself. He's a brother, he's a friend, he's a kind man. We speak about a legend. A legend has so many different meanings, but I'm gonna give you my meaning of a legend as applied to Mr. Ash Mufareh, who is my friend. A legend to me is a living person, somebody that's alive, that have an eager, willing, open heart and desire to make a difference in the world. Somebody that wants to change the present cycle where everything is going and put people on a different path that will be able to enable them to help themselves. And that's what Mr. Mufareh has given us, each one of us. He has given us an opportunity to help ourselves. He's given us the opportunity to help others, to help themselves. And he has given us the opportunity to help the world at large. There's so many powerful things that have been said about so many things, by so many one, but the one that touched me so much about when Judith said, Mr. Ash is a man after his mother's heart. I have to agree with that for so many reasons in my personal life myself. A man that is after his mother's own heart, very benevolent, very kind, very gentle, very friendly, very compassionate, very loving. You know, have feelings. It's overwhelming sometimes because of whether they can or cannot, but most of the time when they cannot, they still feel like they could do a whole lot more if they had opportunity to have everything enable them to do that. And Mr. Ash Mufareh has went way beyond anything I could possibly dream of or hope for somebody to give themselves freely. Each one of us to give us an opportunity to change our lives, our family lives, our country's lives. You know, there's so many different dimensions that Mr. Ash is presented to us, and he wants us to carry this same compassion he's given to us, same love he's given to us. Also, a legend is someone that changed destiny, changed time, you know, like a time changer. You know, Mr. Ash is changing time for us. You may not realize it, but we're in a new world. We're in the ONPASSIVE world. And that world is in its own life form, in its own life cycle. And we're traveling at warp speed. And we're going around from places to places. Watch and see. I don't believe there's nobody in here is gonna have a drying eye once they wake up one day very soon and realize the gift that God, that's right, that God has placed in their hand.
Thank you, Abdullah.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was great.
Love you. I love you too.
I know you got a lot of content. You'll go on for like 15 minutes at least. I know you, but we got time limit. So just bear with us, yeah, because we want to hear from everybody. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
That was
night.
great value. Thank you. We now go on to Gladys Naboro. Gladys, can you unmute yourself and speak with us?
Thank you so much, Lynn, for the opportunity. Thank you, all winners, all the leaders. You know, when you asked me to speak about our CEO for 2 minutes, I am hurt. But thank you so much. I'm just joking. So I'm going to time myself. I just want to share something very brief, hopefully for the 2 minutes, regarding our CEO, Ash Mufareh, because we know that is truly a gift to humanity, is a gift to us. I came to ONPASSIVE in 2018, and the heart that he expressed himself to me when I called him to inquire about the business was not about him. It was about giving me the freedom that I need to be with my children, to be with my family. And I believe Ash was born and created for such a time as this. He is a man who is a visionary, who is not about promoting himself, but promoting us the founders. And I believe in every time in life, when there's an opportunity that brings change, I am a believer and I will speak for me, because I know on ONPASSIVE we have many, people with different beliefs, and we embrace everybody. But for me, I will say that Mr. Ash is truly a gift to humanity that mankind will live to remember. And I believe that whenever God does something to change people's lives, he uses people to do things. And I believe that Ash is one of the people who is here in this season, in this time, to bring that change. He's a man who operates from a point of love. And we have seen how he has brought us together as founders from over 200 countries, how he has raised these leaders because he believes in mentorship. He believes in uplifting one another. He believes in uplifting humanity. We see Oh Bless, which is our platform, our crowdfunding platform that is really going to change humanity. He's going to be a lesson to humanity, a lesson to businesses, a lesson to people on how things should be done. And so I thank God. I timed myself. Next time I will make sure I speak more. Thank you so much. My time is up.
Did you set a timer for yourself?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Wow, that's pretty good. Remember, when we get O Connect, it's going to have a timer built in. It's going to be on the screen. So it'd be really wonderful to have. All right, we're going to hear from Terry now. Terry Thompson, come on down. Oh, let me unmute you. Sorry. Let me find you.
There you go. Thank you so much, Lynn. I'll make it very quick. I just want to mention one of the things I love about Mr. Mufareh is his sense of humor. Oh my gosh, what CEO can not only retain and keep that amount of self-respect that we have for him, make us also feel so important all the time. He's the best listener, and he's just so patient that way, but can crack jokes. And he said it, so I don't mind saying he sort of has a dry sense of humor. That's my kind of sense of humor. I can't stop laughing or smiling when he comes on, because he just, it really is. It just cracks me up. He makes everybody laugh so hard and smile. And, you know, that keeps us all healthy, because laughter is the best medicine. So I just want to bring that up. Everything that every leader said here, spot on. I love what you all said, but I personally absolutely love his sense of humor. Thank you so much for having me, Lynn.
Thank you, Terry. He does have a kind of like a dry wit. And sometimes you may not get it at the moment he says it, but then a few seconds later you go, ha, 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 that's funny. You know, it kind of hits you what he was saying. Yeah, I love it. Awesome. All right, now we would like to call Marie Pendy. She's in the house. Can you come and speak with us, Marie? If you're able. Let me ask you to unmute. There you go. You can unmute now.
Hi, good evening. I am very glad to have this opportunity to speak to Mr. Mufareh. I've spoken to him quite a few times, and one of the things that I think about him, I think I've said it a few times, and I'm going to repeat it again. Mr. Mufareh, by creating ONPASSIVE, you are maximizing, you are fulfilling the highest value and the grandest vision possible and the truest expression of yourself as a human being. You are living a true life, and that's why you survive all the odds. I believe that there is a divine power that is greater than yourself, that is ruling your life. Thank you for connecting to that source and allowing the energy to transcend through you, through to others around you in the way you act and the way you have taught us to act. By doing that, together we can all join hands in doing good deeds and good kindness and uplift humanity. Thank you so much. We love you.
Thank you, Marie Pendy, for those very inspiring words. All right, we're going to have maybe a couple more speakers. We're going to call Satya. Now, Satya, 2 minutes, okay? Time yourself, 2 minutes. Let me unmute you. All right, go ahead, Satya. Good to have you.
Hi, ma'am. Namaste. Thank you, ma'am. I just want to say thank you to Ash. I want to just listen to all the great leaders' words, but I want to say gratitude. Thank you so much, Ash. Actually, it's really a great opportunity for me to be here and listen all the great words for you. Thank you so much, Ashley. You really backed by the divine power. Thank you. I always say thank you to you because the divine power within you, I see in your words and your heart. Thank you so much, Ashley. I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for making all of us be here and a great opportunity for all the founders to be here and do something for the humanity. Thank you so much, Ash. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, ma'am. Thank you so much. It's a great opportunity. Thank you. I want to just say thank you to Ash only. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know anybody as humble and as grateful as Satya. That's his theme. He's always grateful. Appreciate you, Satya.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. We got Melanie here, and she gets 2 minutes. Melanie, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Lynn. Good night, everyone. Good morning. I know it's 2 minutes, so I have lots to say as well. I'm always on the O network. Mr. Ash Mufareh, 2 years ago, after what's his name? Murloc, Jeffrey, told me, just come in and listen to the man himself. And I listened in, and the first thing that I heard or I saw was a humble man, very down to earth, humble. And from then on, even the people that I enticed or encouraged to join under me, I told them, this man is so down to earth. You can sit and watch him face to face, and like it's not like the big hierarchy people, you know, the type that would kind of make you crumble a bit. Ash is a godsend. He's selfless. He's a simple man with a big heart. And I am talking from the bottom of my heart. Because every time Ash comes on, I get that shiver. And I know that that was orchestrated by God himself. This is a gift from God handed down to Ash to make him that visionary in these dark times that we are in. He is the guy, or he is the man from God sent to switch on the light bulb of this world in the darkness so that we, as the remnants, can bring out our skills and help others. Humanity, the heart for humanity, help others to become what God had intended them to be. That's starting with us as ONPASSIVians, and the people that we are going to help will be so fulfilled. They will be so full, you know, running and shaking, you know, running over like the Bible says. Because God, this is who he is, and this is what he had intended for Ash Mufareh from the time that he was in his mother's home. I truly, truly, truly believe that this man is a God sent. And to speak the truth, the $97 is nothing. It's nothing. I have paid into programs or products like $999, $1,999, $497, $697. I got nowhere.
Melanie.
So thank you, Mr. Ash. Thank you, Mr. Mufareh. What you're doing is great, and we'll be behind you. Thank you.
Thank you, Melanie. I got to be the timekeeper. Nobody's keeping time, keeping time.
Thank
So I got to be the bad one. Okay.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for understanding. That was great. A
Thank
great
you.
share. Appreciate you. Now we go on to Parvesh, and Parvesh, you get 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay. Go ahead, Parvesh.
Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank each and everyone for wonderful sharing, truly from their hearts. Before joining the ONPASSIVE, I'm just living the life. But when I joined the ONPASSIVE, and I first time I attend the webinar and saw Mr. Ash speaking, that is the turning point of my life. And now I'm enjoying my life. There is nothing bigger than loving humanity and to treat everyone equally in the world. So Mr. Ash Mufareh is a living legend in true sense, and he is the man who is a visionary, who is honest, who is hard worker and who is most disciplined. And he did a lot of things for all of us, for humanity, to raise the bar of humanity and treat everyone equally all over the world. So I am feeling speechless to myself explain uh, the love, affections, and all the things towards Mr. Ash. So I am feeling so blessed to be part of ONPASSIVE, this beautiful family of ONPASSIVians. And this is a word for me, and I learned so many things from all of the great leaders all over the world. And this is the blessings to me and all of us. From the gods, from the God. And this is the golden chance in our lives to prove ourselves and to serve towards the humanity and treat everyone equally all over the world. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for your love, your blessings, and thank you so much to Mr. Ash Mufareh. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Thank you, Pavesh. Appreciate it. All right, what we're going to do now is I'm going to take it back to Bob and Oliver to say any concluding comments that they have, starting with Oliver.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody that is here today, and with the wonderful word from our CEO, and just want to say thank you. Good night, and please, we should call our friends, those who drop out, because they're tired. Call them to come now back and be engaged, because the time has come that we have to call them to be engaged, go to their back office, and we should also go to our back office and to get the info, especially when we go to your back office, go to webinars and updates, to get to know the webinars that are coming up, and if the CEO is coming up, or any updates, you get it from the back office. Stop listening to other false messages that are going around. Your back office should be your information box. Go there, you get all the information, the important information that you want to get. Thank you.
Thank you, Oliver. Now we need
Yes, Antolin, fellow founders, everyone. Pleasure having you here again tonight. Like Antolin said, maybe next week we'll continue with, it looks like this was a really brilliant topic. I strongly believe that as we are heading towards the home stretch, going out to the public, we are going to define our CEO. And we start by, expressing our CEO, what we think about him. So I think it's a really brilliant topic. So maybe next week we can continue. And like Antolin said, but I want to thank you all for coming. Really appreciate our founder, Mr. Ash, for what he's done to us. I mean, our lives are about to change. We should all just be graceful, just like he is, to receive the gift that he's about to give to us. And just remember that there's a purpose and there's a mission, and all of us, once we get it, we should go out and do just like our CEO would want us to do. So I'll send it back to you, Antolin.
Thank you very much. All right, this is our time now to give thanks to those that have been very helpful to our webinar. We can't do it alone. It takes a lot of people to do a webinar. First of all, of course, we always thank Bob and Oliver, because they're the ones that set up the speakers and the topic and all of that. And that takes a lot of commitment and consistency. So we appreciate Bob and Oliver for that. I also want to thank Marcienne Himabu and Sylvie Wanji, because they are our greeters and co-hosts, a very important function. I want to thank Skipper. He's been providing live music for almost every webinar, unless he's away. He's here for us, and it really brightens up the webinar and sets up in a really, really happy mood. So thank you to Skipper for that. I also would like to thank John Barilla. He is the chat commissioner. It means the people that monitor our webinar chat as well as the YouTube chats. John, I'll give you a few moments to unmute and say thank you to your crew for helping us.
Okay, let's see. Yes, I'm unmuted. Thank you, Lynn. Very quickly, I'd just like to offer my heartfelt thanks to Mr. Ash Mufareh, along with all of my guardians on their behalf. Wish him a heartfelt thanks for everything he's done for us and is doing for us. And then very quickly, I'd like to mention those folks that are working hard tonight. MK Cayley, Yin Yang 444, KC Zevenbergen, Kashu Pagu, Raphael St. Germain, Jean Oliva, Listra Tuach, Mayra Aquino, Bruce Gerstein, Roy Davies, Yakai Kadem, Rob Gorman, and Dave Rosowski, and Willie Wonky. Thank you very much, folks, and that's all I've got. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you, John, for all you do and your consistency. It really, really is amazing what you do for us. We appreciate you so much. We would like to now bring on June Buckingham and Myra to the turn. You guys, I'll put you guys spotlight. I want to at least acknowledge you guys, what you guys do for us. Myra, you got your camera on, Myra? If you can, come on.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, June.
And we want to just say hi, Martin.
Yay.
Hello, everybody. Thank you.
Hi, Mara.
And
Hi, Mr. Takusi.
we would love to
Nice
talk
to be here.
about what you see behind
Sure.
you. Myra, can you move to the side for just a bit so people can see the side of both of you? Yeah, isn't that beautiful? And what is the significance of that throne, Myra? What does that throne signify?
That's the throne of our king, Mr. Mufareh. That's the seat he should be sitting right now with us. We honor him.
Junior,
There's no words.
She's giving her heart. That's right. Right on. That's beautiful. And it was so significant because of our topic today. So it was nice. I just think it's very symbolic. It's a lot of meaning. Right, Bob? Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
Thank you, June and Myra.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
You're very
Oh,
welcome.
you're welcome. We love what we do.
No
Yes.
graphics, you think, oh, no big deal. But my goodness, it tells a story. It
Yeah.
gives a message. It inspires people to want to come to your webinar. Graphics are very, very important. So we thank you for your contribution, both of you, June and Myra. We appreciate you very much.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Welcome.
You guys have a good night.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, did I forget anybody? Oh, we want to say
Father bless.
Father bless, yeah. And then after that, I'll do the goodbyes. All right. So now we have Father bless to give us a prayer. If you don't want to be present for the prayer, you don't have to. It just happens to be an O-Winners tradition. So go ahead, Father bless. I made him co-host, so he should be able to unmute. Unless he got booted. Do you guys see him? He was here.
John Barilla, you
Yes,
didn't take him
yes, he's there. He's there. Unmute him. Unmute him. He's there.
John put him in jail.
Okay.
Here I am.
I made you co-host earlier. I don't know what happened. How come you lost your co-host? Did you get booted out? That's weird. Okay, anyway, go ahead. Say your lovely prayer.
I came a bit late today.
No problem.
Thank you, Antilin. Thank you all. What a webinar. Allow me to say that all the webinar was a blessing. And a blessing is a prayer. So let us do what we used to do, a prayer of gratitude today for Mr. Ash and for everything we have. The title is Gratitude to You. Loving Lord, as I express my gratitude to you in prayer, may it be a pleasing for your love. It brings me acceptance and significance. Thank you, Lord, for your truth. It brings me guidance and direction. Thank you, Lord, for your mercy. It brings me help and comfort. Thank you, Lord, for your faithfulness. It brings me stability and strength. Thank you, Lord,
for your beauty displayed in it. Thank you, Lord, for your way of redemption, the cross. It brings me salvation and regeneration. And thank you, Lord, for our living legend. And may God bless you all. Love you.
Love you, Father Bless.
Amen.
Being here.
Amen.
Amen.
You, Father Bless.
It's always so beautiful and
Thank you, Father Bliss. Thank you.
it's such a peaceful feeling, you know, to end our webinar. It's beautiful. Oh, we would like to
Thank you,
see
Father
guys.
Bless.
Thank you. Yeah. We would like to see you guys next week. We're gonna give you an opportunity to say your thoughts and feelings about Mr. Mufareh. So you can, you know, plan what you're gonna say. Remember, you only get 2 minutes. If we can do 2 minutes and everybody can say something, right? So you can compose it before you even show up. Try to stick with the 2 minutes, okay? Thank you, everybody. Anything else? I think that's it. We're gonna say bye now and come back next week. We're here every week, same time, same channel, and for a new topic. And we're happy you're here. Hope we got some value out of this webinar. At this time, we're gonna allow you guys to unmute. Oh, if you can come to Roblin Live, we start in half an hour. We start in half an hour. So the link is in the back office, as well as if you're on the major YouTube channels like Red and Marty, you can watch it there as well as on my channel. Huh? My husband says the topic is, are you on passive ready? All right.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and allow you guys to unmute and say goodbye to each other. If you want me to spotlight you, turn your video on. That's a signal to me that you want to be spotlighted, okay? So unmute and have a fun goodbye. Go ahead.
I love you all.
Bye. Thank you.
Happy founders.
Thank you so much.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Everybody, let's go to Roblin now.
Bye, Myra.
Night, night. To our leaders for following
Hi,
us.
Melanie.
Good night.
Very much. God bless. See
Night.
you all later.
Gail.
Praise
Hi,
God.
Gail.
Next
Good
time.
night.
Awesome.
Have a wonderful
Sherry, night, Gemma. Night,
Good
June.
work.
Oh,
Night, everybody.
God bless you.
Good night,
good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Night, Gail.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Night, everyone.
Bye,
Have a
Len.
Night,
wonderful
We are so
night.
in it
Michelle.
together.
We'll see you
Thank you
later.
for coming. Thank
Good
you.
night, Miss
God
TV.
bless you. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful night.
Good
Maxine.
For
night.
a
Maxine.
good webinar.
Sister
Thank you.
Maxine.
Thank you for coming.
Bonsoir.
Thank you. Bonne nuit.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
Casey.
Casey. Good night, Casey.
Casey, good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Night,
Night,
Gladys.
Sister
Gladys. Good night,
Gladys.
Gladys.
Bye, Gladys.
Night, night.
I love y'all.
Night.
Just bring
Night,
good
Bree.
Pretty. Good
Bye.
night.
Thanks,
Bye.
Oliver. Thanks, Bob. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank
Hi,
you so much.
Satya.
night. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Good
much.
night.
Good to see you.
God bless
Night,
you.
Thanks for
everybody.
coming.
Night, Greg. Night,
Nice
Greg.
Good night,
night.
Greg.
Bye.
Bye,
To the
everybody.
Thank you
scarecrow
to
on
our
top.
leader
Night,
for
Mr.
Bob.
coming.
Takusa.
Night.
We
Yes, Bob.
appreciate
Thank
all
you for
our
everything you
leaders.
do.
Bob. Oh, good night, everybody.
Jean.
Jean, good night.
Bye,
Bye.
Good
everybody.
night, Jean.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone,
We'll
for
see you
coming.
later.
Good
Okay, we'll
night.
talk
Thanks.
later. All right.
Pull up.
So in
Bye.
it to win it.
Sergeant
Yes,
Major
We are
absolutely.
all in it to
John
win it.
Everyone.
And
John
don't
Barella.
forget,
There you
Maria.
go.
What's his name? What's his
Okay.
name?
Let me read that, huh?
Good
His
job.
name
and
Jay.
Alleviated the lost flesh.
ignite and inspire as
Yes.
all winners.
Good night, Sister
Don't
That was
forget.
funny though.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
I
Thank you, thank you.
thought you put me on the spot.
Thank you for
Hey,
coming.
man.
Night,
Yeah.
Sylvie.
Good
And
night,
inspire
Sylvie.
at all winners.
Chris
All Wednesdays.
Johnson.
Father
I like
Blaze.
Red cap.
Good night, Father
That
Blaze.
goes on that
Night,
philosophy.
brother.
I will repeat the same people.
It's
marinated in beet juice.
Good night, Angela.
Another
Chris. I don't know who that is.
red
Who
cabbage.
is that?
Thank you for coming, Chris.
Roman came from
Oh,
New York
hi.
City years ago, but on the internet.
Good night, Armand.
I'm
Good
here
night.
Loves you, baby. Who?
Good night.
Come on, hey,
Oh, Jackie.
And his wife,
I'm adopted. Who loves you? I'm Pacifian, and I'm sure
here's Armand.
Fire, fire.
John, you got me out of trouble.
Chris.
Thanks, buddy.
We have
Good night,
Australian webinar this morning. So if you are a founder and you want to
Good night,
attend the
Miriam.
Australian
Miriam.
Miriam.
Yeah,
some of us have been blocked. For the Australian webinar art, for those that they want
Good night, Listra.
Listra. Good night, Listra.
Good night.
Good night.
Alistair.
Good night, my dear.
Good night, Angela.
Good night.
Bye
Good night.
Good night, Hassan.
Good night.
Good night, women and ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hey,
Namaste.
Chris, go get yourself a falafel, Chris.
What?
Falafel's the best. You'll get on the 120-year plan that Chris has announced. He's on the 120-year plan. Well, barking tree frogs, Chris. I'm going to get on that plan myself.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
all right.
We all got to get on 120-year plan.
If we eat right, we can live a lot longer.
Drink lots of water.
Eating at McDonald's.
Oh, bro.
If
Say
you
your
want
prayers
to
at
attend
night.
the Australian webinar early this
Little
morning,
exercise.
we
Go
will
do some
have the
stretching.
link for
Like
founder
yoga
only.
or
It's
something.
for founder only. I think the link might be posted in the back office.
Walk or something.
It's for
That's what I'm
founder
doing.
only.
I get started. I'm sore all over. Oh my God. You start working out.